But you've got a lot of stories to tell from some of the members of New York Bio and some of the things that have been done. Uh, can you give us some examples of some of the innovations that New York Bio members have been involved in that really focus on improving the lives of patients? Because we hear a lot about medical research and we hear complaints about research not really providing benefits to patients. But in the life sciences, here we're talking about innovations that have the potential to relieve suffering, cure diseases, maybe even save lives. What examples do you have of that?
Yeah, we clearly have with, with nearly 300 members, we have a lot of examples that I can use. And I think the most instructive thing is if you look at New York Bio member companies from, the very largest, pharma companies and to the very smallest and realize how some of those interact. A very good example that we saw announced during the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference week in January was the purchase of Intracellular by Johnson and Johnson. And it's obviously that deal hasn't closed, but those are two New York Bio members. Intracellular was founded in New York City by Dr. Sharon Mates and just has really focused on CNS and bringing therapeutics to patients in the CNS and schizophrenia space. And like that is a really good example of a very homegrown, successful, patient-forward company that, and I think especially when you're talking with entrepreneurs about sort of what happens, right, long term and how things play out, right? There are, you have several options, but there is the build it, take it public, continue to grow into the next, Pfizer, J&J, Merck, or, but that's a long road, right? These companies have been around, over 100 years in some cases. And then acquisition, right, is a really important part of how the ecosystem functions.